I need to put my phone on do not disturb. So back to the story. It was my sister's birthday, and I always get in trouble, y'all, on my sister's birthday. She a Scorpio. So her birthday time that week, Auntie always end up in trouble. Her birthday and my father, rest his soul, my biological father. On their birthdays, I get in trouble because I kick it extra hard. So not even my own birthday, but their birthdays, I get in trouble. So anyway, I'm um I'm in a situation where I I was running out. I'm looking down at my phone and I bump into this guy. And so when I bump into him, I was like, oh Lord, And he fine as wine. I ain't gonna lie, bald head. He was, he wasn't even tall. He was kind of, probably about 5'7", 5'8", but amen. He was fine. And so I looked at him. I said, and he caught me. So when I bumped into him, he caught me by my hips. And he said, "Watch out, little mama. Where you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." So he looked at me. So I had on, y'all, I love me some different color lipstick. And this particular night, I had on a real pretty, like, dark, sparkly blue lipstick. So he stopped and he looked. He said, "Oh, I love them lips." I said, boy, please stop playing with me. I said, I'm probably old enough to be your mama. I said, you too young for me, sugar. And so he said, "What age got to do with it?" And I was like, "Oh, like, cougar activated." Hey, man, I had been a cougar about a few years then, but cougar was activated. And I said, "Boy, don't play with me." He said, put my number in your phone or whatever. They put the number in the phone. I'm talking about, again. And so we talked maybe like the first couple of conversations. We went out, very nice. I mean, dressed nice, smelled nice, everything. We 10 years apart, so it wasn't like I say cougar, but no, was it 10? I think ooh, I was probably about 40. No, it was before my 45th birthday. So I had to be 44 and he was like 34. Something like it was a 10-year difference. So and that's been my story. Like that's why I had to retire because up until what maybe maybe at 46, well no, I take that lie back because the last one was 32. And I was like, but when Auntie fix up. But we ain't gonna again, we're not gonna stay on Auntie and what Auntie got going on. But I'm retired. I'm retired. I'm retired. But anyway, so we had a conversation. So it was sort of like the conversation with Delicia and oh boy, I was like, okay, I'm older than you, but the conversation was great. He was very, very transparent. Um, Sagittarius, they fun and they go safe with it. They on their mind. And so very, very blunt, all that. So I said, what's up with you? What's your motive? And so he said, oh, I'm gonna get that. And I said, what? He said, oh, I'm with that. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm just like, he a little bit forward, but I'm not gonna lie, it was somewhat of a turn on because all you ever want is for somebody to be honest and brutally honest. Don't play games with me. Don't beat around the bush or whatever. Just be brutally honest with your intentions. And that's the first time that I had ever dated a guy who actually said what he wanted up front. And it wasn't in a disrespectful way. It was like I ain't got not like I want it right now or whatever, but that's my goal. And I felt like that was just so real to me. And I respected it. And it's a difference when somebody tell you something and it's coming from a place of disrespect. You always have to look at the intent. Now I think King took it a little bit far, saying I want to hit it forever, and that may be his goal. That even if I hit it, I want to hit it forever. I want somebody that I can be with forever, and he may see that. I do know people who have met each other and it was love at first sight, and they still married. And then you got people who've known each other their whole life and they end up getting married and then get divorced. So it does happen that way. So it's like this thing with King, I'm loving all the energy. First of all, I'm loving the fact that he's an alpha male. Second of all, I'm loving the fact that he took $20 and gave her an experience. He gave her a relief that she actually needed from the toxicity, from the back and forth, from hiding in elevators and all this. I guarantee you that Iman is going to come and try to break that peace. I guarantee you that Brother King got some money. He got some change, some cha-ching money. And he may even know Iman. So now the only caveat to this is if he finds out that Delisha and Iman were messing around and Shayla's been rooting for him, will that change his perception of who Delicia is? That's the key word, right? I mean, that's the key thought right now. Is will he change the original impression, or will he look at it as, okay, I see why you were a savage now. I see why your walls were up. I see why you don't trust me. We're going to erase all that and start over from scratch. So it'll be interesting to see what approach he takes after he knows the truth, or if he finds out the truth, or would Delicia keep it 100 enough to tell him the truth about what's going on. I feel like this love month, y'all, auntie gonna be raw with